Hey friends! Okay, so I hope you've been enjoying all the art projects. I'm getting a lot of great pictures back and I'm getting some really great comments back from you and your parents. So for this week's lesson, I decided to talk about warm colors and cool colors. We obviously recognize the colors red, orange, and yellow listed under warm colors. The way I teach you guys how to remember that is to think about the colors that you would use to color in the sun or a warm, cozy campfire. And those are the colors that are considered warm colors on the color wheel. The cool colors are green, blue, and purple, the other half of the color wheel. And I think like if you were going to color a really cold lake or something, you might use some of these colors. Like you always think of like ice blue as ice and cold. So warm colors and cool colors. And what we're gonna do with these colors today, you're going to pick your favorite animal, any animal you could think of. It could be a farm animal, it could be an animal out in the wild, or an animal that you have as a pet or wish you had as a pet, any kind of animal. And you are going to take a piece of paper. I started this already, otherwise it would have taken a long time to do. So I started mine, but I didn't finish it. You're gonna take the paper before you draw and fold it once like this, and then fold it again. So that when you open it, you have 4 equal parts, okay? Then you're gonna not worry about that for a while, and you're going to draw nice and big. So I chose a pig. I bet you already knew that. Okay, now a little secret. This is not Miss Fallon's favorite animal. I wonder if you can guess what my favorite animal is. Probably not. Okay, so my favorite animal is a wombat. You can look it up because maybe, just maybe, you've never seen a wombat, but I didn't know how well I could draw the wombat and if anybody would recognize it. So I did a pig because I like pigs too. Okay, so I did his big. I'm using a lot of simple shapes, guys. Circles, kind of like a triangle, right? And I'm making it really large so that it took up this whole top part, these 2 fractions up here, nice and big. We want to really be aware as we get older of using up our space, and you guys are already so good at that. Okay, so now I made his big pig body. I made his little arms. So I hope while you're watching me, you're thinking, hey, what kind of animal am I going to choose? Okay, you might want to think of what you could use this space with and how you could use it in a really good way. Okay, here's this curly little tail, so I did this. A little tricky, right? And remember, it's called outlining when we outline with a darker color over our pencil lines. So I did that. I'm actually also very slowly going to trace over now these folded lines that divided my paper into the 4 equal parts. Oh, I forgot, I made like a little surprise. Okay, so now I've got this. I already used, you guessed it, warm colors to color in my animal. So that's how we're going to use the warm and cool colors. Use your warm colors for the animal and cool colors for the background, or use cool colors for your animal and warm colors in the background. That way you can get, you can use the opposite colors on the color wheel to really get some contrast if you want for the background. So red and green, a cool color and a warm color, are really different from each other, and they give a lot of contrast when you put them next to each other. So for each background. I'm kind of doing this quickly, but I know you guys take your time and do such a great job. And I didn't have the colors I wanted in markers, so I used some markers, but then I'm using some crayons. Big word for this, when we use more than one material to make our art, like in this case, I'm using marker and crayon, we call it multimedia. More than one medium. Big word, but just giving you some info. So I'm gonna use pink and blue. Man, I meant to use blue with orange. I even marked it off. See, Miss Fallon. That's okay. This is still a cool color, so it's okay. I just forgot my original plan. That happens all the time when you make art. And sometimes it comes out better than you thought when you make a mistake. So you just go with it. Okay, that's how we learn, and that's how sometimes we come up with something even better. Okay, so I am going to turn the tape off and then finish this, so I'll share it with you later, but I want you to go use your warm colors, use your cool colors, come up with your favorite animal, have a great time. Send me your finished work. Bye guys.